All right, here's the problem. I was doing a repair for somebody, and it was on this particular watch, a Wenger watch. It's not a really high-end watch, and it had a quartz movement. And this was a standard quartz movement that you could pick up from China. So the problem I had was the movement. I won't. This is backwards right now, but this is the old movement and what it looked like. So it had a day wheel on it, and it had a date wheel or time wheel, or not date wheel, day wheel, like Tuesday the 5th, right? So anyway, the one that came in the mail had this. This was the plate on it, like this. So it came with this plate. And this one isn't screwed in. It kind of goes down like so, right? And then this plate goes over it. I won't. You kind of put the wheel ring in like that, and then this plate goes over that, and that's how it comes together, right? So it came like that, and I was like, holy crap, this thing doesn't have the day, and I want the day to be in there. So if I'm swapping the movement around, I have to borrow some parts. So what I did was I took this thing apart. This was the old one here. And I had to take a couple of wheels off to make this work. And there's a couple of them in here. I don't want to take this one apart again. That's the problem. Anyway, this wheel here, this wheel here is the one that flips the day. And it was different. This is the one this one doesn't flip the day. So this one will flip the day, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't flip the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So this one here, I had to flip into here, right? Then there was another wheel here that I had to borrow from the old one and put that one in to here as well. Then I noticed that the screws, the plate on top of this looked totally different, right? So I had to replace this plate here, which was more of a full plate, with a thinner plate that allowed me to have room for the wheel that came out of here and the wheel that came out of here, and the cannon pinion. So the cannon pinion actually. This cannon pinion here just allows you to, it had a ridge on it. So this one has as you can see there, this one has a little bit of a ridge on it. And that ridge was preventing me from putting the day wheel on here, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So day of the week wheel. So I had to change the cannon pinion. So, and then I had to use the smaller screws that came from the original watch that looked like this, and reconfigure that. So basically, the story is I know I say that a lot, but the story is I bought this movement. They were exactly the same movement from China. This was a Ronda 1 jewel movement. Looks like this. They're kind of just a regular crappy movement. You can get them pretty cheap, made in China. And I flipped it for this movement here, which is the exact same movement. It came in the mail with a battery. I actually still don't know whether this thing actually works or not. So I'm gonna, to test whether it works or not, I'm just gonna throw the second hand on and just see if it's ticking. If it's not, I'll replace the battery and then see if it's ticking. But it's exactly the same movement, but I had to take some of the date stuff, the plates and all the rest of it, and the wheels, and just transfer what was more of a complex date configuration from this watch over to this watch. So I guess this video is just to kind of tell you that if you have a watch and you want to place a movement, if you flip the watch over and you see that it's exactly the same movement, and you look at the configuration of the back of the watch where the solenoid is and the battery and all that, and that looks like it's exactly the same movement as the one you had, right? And you're gonna buy it, then probably 99.9% of the time, the keyless works and all the rest of it, and the front will be the exact same movement as well. And you just have to borrow parts from the old watch that has more of a complex configuration, and then put it in the new watch and just move them over. So this one works, and if you look at see if I can hold my camera. See how that works? That works nicely. Anyway, it's pretty cool. So now I'm going to take this movement, make sure it actually works by putting the second hand back on. That's all I need to do, because if I don't want to put them all on, because I'm sure the rest of it works, but pop the second hand on and see if it's actually turning. And then I can finish this watch, and it's for my wife's friend's husband. And he likes this watch, and it wasn't working. And if I had just put that movement in that I got, this thing here would have looked stupid, because it would have shown the space where the day of the week would have been blank, and all you would have saw in that space was kind of gears and stuff. So normal people wouldn't want to see that. I might, but other people wouldn't. So I'm going to transplant this watch back, the movement back in the watch, and we're good to go. So the lesson here is that once you're faced with a situation like this, think out of the box. Sometimes you can do some heart and lung transplants, and the patient's basically able to walk out of emergency without issues. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching this quick little video. If you have any questions, let me know. I didn't show you how the transplant is done, but it's pretty intuitive if you do any of this kind of work. It's not that difficult. You're not drilling holes or doing anything like that. Just make sure you take photos of the old movement and what it looks like with its more complex configuration, and then take pictures of the new movement. And so you've got them both, and you know exactly what you need to flip over. The tricky part, I guess, from me was to make sure I got that cannon pinion over, and that was pretty easy once I took this plate here off the watch. I took this off. The cannon pinion was and then this was exactly the same in both those movements. There was no difference. It was just the full plate where the watch only had a day. So this was exactly the same. So and it doesn't screw in. There's some studs there, and it just pushes. It pops out. You just put your screwdriver under the plate, and then wedge it out, and then I was able to get access to the cannon pinion. There it is there. I'm videotaping while I'm doing this. So there's the cannon pinion. So I was able to get access to that, no issue. I actually am trying to put this on while I'm watching it on I'm videotaping this on my iPhone. So this is kind of stupid. Can I do watch work while I'm on my iPhone? Anyway, I'm not too worried about this movement. This will be a parts movement after. So anyway, so that was the one thing I needed to make sure I had that cannon pinion flipped, because this particular opening was only good with the other cannon pinion. It needed to be, the ridge couldn't be there. That's it. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.